Well, hello, and welcome back, everybody. Just seconds before the stream was starting. Okay, good. We got the image back. Okay. There was a little glitch, and it said error connecting the camera right as we're about to start. Okay. So, hello. I'm AJ O'Neill. Welcome back. Good to have you again, I think. Yeah. So, for those of you joining in for the first time, I'd love to know who you are and what brings you here. For those of you joining in again, please say hi, and I hopefully will recognize your handle. What we're going to do tonight is work on webinstall.dev. So this is a little project that I've got for installing developer tools. And basically, if there's something on here that you as a developer use on the regular that is not available, I'd love to know. This is basically an alternative in some ways to apt or brew, and that it's for installing good modern tools quickly without any overhead of database locking or having to download lots of Git history commits and stuff like that. And it's been about a month since I've given dedicated effort to it. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight. Of course, before we do, let's have a word from our not sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. Pop top, my friends. It is time to open focus. That's some strong focus right there. I tell you, that orange juice is good. Okay. So I think I'm just going to go through these from bottom to top. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit easier to read for myself. It looks like all of the PRs, I'm going to handle PRs first and issues second. Okay. Let's see. So ECLS control, or EKS control, sorry. EKS control is one that was started but hasn't really gone anywhere. VPS Essentials is stuck in limbo right now. Put version command and files list in YAML. Let me take a look at that one. This might be one that's just kind of stale and needs to be closed out. Okay. Yeah, this one's not really ready. I think that kind of needs to be moved to an issue, but it's got code associated with it. But it's really just, yeah, idea like it says. All right, Vim commentary installer. Should it be in Vim Essentials? I think so. All right. Still need to test. Okay. Use GCC to comment out a line, or GC to comment out the target of a motion. For example, GCAP to comment out a paragraph. GC visual mode comment out the selection. Yeah, I'm down with that actually. So let's see. I think that this just kind of follows the other Vim installers here. I don't like this format. Let's go ahead and see if this one works. Well, before I do that, because this is an addition of something new, before I do that, let me check out some of these other ones. Oh, add help command usage. This would be really useful. Is this actually ready to go? All right. If no command is provided, if -h is prevented, if help is appended, I actually want to edit this to add help as well. And I think that this was done. I'm not 100% behind this because I think this if statement should be what guards usage. It shouldn't always do usage. It should have the if statement should guard the usage. But I like the general idea of where this is going. This is a change that it seems it should be easy enough to validate. Okay. But that's really cool. Sorry for the long wait. We'll test and most likely merge tonight. Cool beans. All right, let's see what else we got here. Run Bootstrap Ps1 from any directory. Okay, this looks important. No, I think what we need to do here is, yeah, this is going to be more than just that. Let's see what they're thinking about. Run from any directory. Yeah, this is not going to work. Fixes a bug. One can only run Webi from the home directory. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Yes, this is absolutely correct. This is 100% correct. Okay. I'm gonna double check on that. Let me see if I can get my computer, my Windows computer up here. Hey, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back. So I do have a Windows computer. Unfortunately, I don't have my HDMI Dilio hooked up right now. So I'm not going to be able to show this to you, but I'm going to see. I think I could just, it's my 2015 Mac. This is my Windows computer. So I'm going to log in, see if I can just shut this down and restart it, because I want to test that. But he's 100% right. I was looking at it inverted. We definitely want to make sure that they can run this from the home directory as he has stated there. So let me see. Okay, I don't have too much open on here. So I think I'm good to go ahead, and I'm just going to shut down a couple things on this computer so I can reboot it back into Windows so I can test. And I did have a process whereby I can basically, let me see if we can find it. I think it's on here. I should be able to restore Windows. Okay, update image now, configure. Let's see, configure. Select destination. I do have a WinClone on here, which should allow me to, in basically 2 or 3 minutes, get Windows back to a previous state. Okay. The idea is that dealing with virtual machines and stuff is kind of a pain in the butt. And so it's actually easier to use the paid WinClone software to be able to make updates. Oh. Oops. Hey, Josh, there was a little bit there where I think I had the mic on and I typed in my password. And if we can, we want to audio mute that just maybe a minute or two ago. Josh is my editor for those of you joining in new. Okay. So I think I'm going to reboot into Windows first and just see what things are looking like. So I'm just going to do a restart here. Sorry, again, you can't see my screen. I'll try to fix that in the future so that I've got my HDMI connected and ready to go. I'm about 100% sure that this will work, no problem. But it's good for my sanity to test these things, because it's the lack of testing these things that causes problems, and Windows is the hardest environment to test on because, it's Windows. So let's see what we could do here. I also need to go find my password for Windows. It's some stupid password. Okay, hold on just one sec while I type that in. I think the only thing I've installed in Windows is HCFR. I use that to calibrate my TV. I've got an X-Rite calibrator, and I bought a TV for my first TV ever. Actually, no, No, I had one TV before when I was in high school. It was a monitor, but it was also a TV, kind of, sort of. I'm not sure if it was a full TV and monitor combo or if it was just a monitor that happened to be able to function as a TV. I think this is my first TV that I ever bought. I've had a projector. And that's good because the projector only really works well at night. And, during the day you should do other stuff, not watch TV. That's right. I'm telling you how to live your life because that's what I do. Okay. You got to get ready for Windows 11. I don't think I will pass hardware requirements, but let's see what it says. Okay, that's the sidetrack I don't want to get down. I want to check and see if I've already got Webi on here, which I'm pretty sure that I do. Let's see, Webi. Interesting. Webi, and let's say Node. Yeah, so that's downloading Node. And then, all right, I'll go ahead and I'll pull this into the next branch and I'll test it. So let's see. Yeah, I got a couple of these I want to pull into next. But this one I think is a really high priority one. So let's go ahead. What branch am I on right now? Add dash core. Okay, and I think I am replacing dash D with dash core. What else I got? I probably got a lot that I can delete here. Add, make, workflows. That one I can delete. Gosh, so many things that I ought to delete here. But let's check out next. I'm pretty sure that right now next is even with main. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to just force push that because next is even with main. And then I'm going to, let's see, I've got a Webi review. And then we've got the name here. And what is this one? This is fix PWSH home, I think is what I will call that. And then we would rebase on main. And then we should be able to get push-f, which we would be doing this right here, should be the right thing to do. And then we want to rebase -i main. And I'm going to reword this to say fix, and this is PowerShell, use home env, use, I guess, home, what is it? env home and ps1 to run from any directory. I know it doesn't like how long that is, but whatever, it'll get over it. Okay, and I'm going to push -f again. Let me see. Let me just do this one right up here, actually. Okay. And then I'm going to check out next, and I'm going to rebase on, what is this, fix PWSH home. And now I should be able to just export the Webi host variable on my Windows machine and be able to run from a different directory. So first, let me see if I can I'm going to go into a different directory now. I'm going to go into c:// oops. And then I am going to run Webi node from c:// and see what it says. It seems like it worked okay, actually. Okay, so let's do export Oh wait, we don't do export on Windows. How do we do this? Webi host. Is it path? Path? No, it's Webi host. Oops. Space. And then https beta.webinstall.dev. I think that's it. Nope, that didn't work. Is it set? Let's try set. Set Webi host. Gosh, I totally forget how to do this. Let me just Google this real quick. Set env Windows. Set environment variable. Windows CMD. Whoops. Get my fingers in the right place on the keyboard. By the way, feel free to ask questions related or unrelated. Programming, I do, well, I guess we'll say a little bit of Bash and PowerShell. Well, a bit of Bash, not a super lot of PowerShell, but primarily Go, Node, and Rust. Okay, set env. All right, maybe I need to reword this. Environment variable. Oh, and not CWD. I meant to do CMD there, sorry. Okay, this site is always good. Set variable equals. Okay, deal. Set variable equals. Oh, good. That worked. Then let's do, first let me see dir.local. Did this do, interesting. Okay. Well, it didn't seem to break anything. And I see that it did install from Webi Dev. So I'm going to say that was that passes. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and pull that one in right now because visually it looks perfect. I don't see any problems there. And I was able to test it and nothing broke, so thank you. Sorry I didn't get to this earlier, but I'm very appreciative that you found this and fixed it for us. If you've got buy me a coffee link, I'd be happy to get you a drink. There we go. Actually, let me change this. If you've got the Dash app, I'd be happy to send you some Dash for lunch. A thank you. Let's put it that way. Dash is my new buy me a coffee. All right, do I want to install the latest Windows updates? Probably not, because I'm gonna revert this back to its clean state. Let's see. How should I say this? I got to think about the wording about this. I really do like the idea of the Dash app. send you, let's see. There we go. Boom. Excellent. Cool. So this one is going through, that's approved. I'm just going to go ahead and go over into main, rebase, next, and push. So that one's clean and simple and immediate. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let me just kind of go through the list real quick before I dive into them deeper. Okay, added the set E, set U. That makes a lot of sense. I probably want to get that in sooner than later. Thank you, Yorun. So Yorun joins in sometimes. Notion MD Gen. All right, that's something new. Resolve issue. Let's see. What was... let's just see what this was here. Move all schmatter. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay, those are two that I'd like to get in sooner than later. And then double check that they're all good. So let's move schmatter to front matter. So I had this thing I called schmatter. It was basically front matter in Bash. It was a dumb idea, but at the time, before I realized how I wanted Windows support to play in and whatnot, I basically had the readmes. The readmes at the time were very small. So I had the readmes in the bash install file. But then as Webi grew, it got different. Okay, so we got a readme typo. Holy moly. So I think that I'm going to have to rebase this. I don't know what he's got this based off of, but I'm just going to pluck this one commit, it looks like. Oh, I think he did it off of next, maybe. Yeah, I think he did it off of next, which... Okay, so could we just look at... yeah, he did it off of next. So in order to look at this one, I'm going to fix... what we'll do... Webi review... Whoop. And we'll call this one... Whoop. Fix docs typo. I don't know what typo it is, but we'll take a look. So first of all, let me do git rebase -i main. Or I'm just going to git log, because I think all I need is his one commit right here. So I think what I'm going to do is go to next, and then I think I'm going to do git cherry pick this, and that should apply cleanly. And then I'm going to check out, what was it? Fix docs typo, and we're going to see, yeah, for future reference, always base off of, here we go. For future reference, always base off of main. Next is experimental and likely to be rebased. Likely to be force rebased at any moment. So what are y'all up to, those of you that are on the stream? Just listening in, actually watching? Is there anything that you'd like to learn? Okay. So this one, can we do a diff with main and see what's actually up here? So, oh, that's not right. Okay, let's try again. Git branch. Okay, fix docs typo, and then rebase-I next. So basically, I just want to drop all these, so I'm going to change all the picks to drops. Because we don't want anything new that wasn't there. Yep. Okay. Cool. And let's do push-F to get this back up. And then I can actually see what the changes really were. And then, okay, good. Now let's actually see what were the changes. Oh, okay, so this one was already included though. This one was his change. So let's get rebase main, because I just pull that in, get rebase main. Interesting. Was there somewhere else where this was in there? Because I could have sworn I just did this, right? Let me just pull that in. So I'm a little bit confused. Okay, get rebase next. Get checkout. What was it? Fix Powershell home, right? Get rebase main. Okay, get checkout main, get rebase, fix Powershell home, get push. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Get log. Okay, get diff head 1. And yeah, this is in Webi Bootstrap Ps1. Item type directory. So that was already included. I don't get it. Get checkout, fix docs typo, get rebase main, get log. There should be no difference, but get diff head 1. Oh, I see what it is. Because this needs to be based off of main. Yep, okay. It's just a little bit behind. That's okay. All right, since Webi is just a small, it always updates. So this is not a correct typo fix. Oh no, it is. It's always update. It always updates. Oh, okay, yeah. For some reason, I'm mixing up my before and afters today. I'm reading the thing. I don't know. I'm transposing things. No, this is correct. Since Webi is just a small helper script, it always updates on each use. That's correct. All right, cool. I can pull that in without any problem whatsoever. So let's go ahead and improve that. Thanks, Duncan. All right. And then we're going to go over here, get checkout. Oh, you know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to rebase-I main, and I'm just going to reword this. Okay, docs, grammar, its update, updates. And readme. Cool. So I'm going to force push there. All right, then I'm going to get checkout main, get rebase, fix docs typo, and get push. All right, now I've got a history of what that was about. All right, so that one's pretty simple. And there was another one. Let's see, typos in readme here. Let's go ahead and check this one out. Oh, yep. npm run build, edit2, this method is preferable. Yep. All right, well said. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and approve this one. Thank you very much. I just made that up. I don't know if anybody else on the internet uses that. You'll have to let me know. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one again. All right, Webi review. And this is going to be fix typos add swap. That's what this one is. All right, and then we're gonna get rebase main. That's what we're gonna do. Yep. And then we're gonna do this one, and then I'm just gonna reword it. Oh, he already got it perfectly. We're just gonna pick it. Excellent. So then I'm gonna force push so that everything's kosher with the rebase. Check out main, get rebase, fix typos, add swap, and push. And now that one's out. Excellent. Huzzah, we're down below 10. This is good. Next one, I think we've got three or four here that are pretty important. Help command usage. This one looks the easiest to get through next. So let me go ahead and check this one out. I said I was going to do this later, but turns out I'm going to do it now. By the way, when you do create PRs for projects, it's really, really nice if you call the name of the branch, whatever it is you're doing. So this one could be add help, something like that. Because when I go to do my process, I can't have another branch named main. So then I have to rename it to add, well, let's call it add usage. All right. And then, of course, I need to rebase main. By the way, this is a command that I made for myself because I found that I needed to do a lot of repetitive, every time somebody contributes to Webi, I have to go through this pretty much the same process. And so, notice the double dash here. I'm searching, and because I need something that starts with double dash, if I just did this, I would just get the help of RG. But I don't want that, so I put a double dash, which tells it I'm at the end of the things that you should be looking for. Look for this and the things down below. Okay, so that actually didn't work out the way I wanted. I think it's under the README here. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go into here. I didn't finish my thought before. I'm sorry. I don't remember what that was. If you want to remind me, then I'll finish that thought. Okay, and then he's got help. And I'm going to put or help because I think that that's the appropriate thing to do. I'm also going to guard. Let's see. I think this belongs here. Oh, that's me. I'm going to move this down to here because that's where I think that guard should be. I don't know if there's a reason that it wouldn't go there. That just seems the more logical place to me. And then there's another one that I want to add here too. I want to add if... Okay, I don't know why this doesn't have the double brackets. That makes me a little concerned. I think that should have the double brackets. And then we want to have here, I want to have V or version. Then I just want to say echo latest, always. Webi, the latest. Oh, whoops, what am I doing here? Version latest. v x x point x point x. From https webinstall.dev/Webi. Okay. I think that's fair. Actually, I kind of like that too. Actually, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to add a version here. Also, this needs to have function in front of it. I really should pull this out because I have it embedded. I have a script embedded in a script, which means that the tooling can't check it, which is a bad idea. I'll admit to that. And it's probably all right. Let's see. Or maybe not. Let me see about this. I think we actually want to backslash all the things here in order for the string to be represented appropriately when it actually runs. But I think what I'm going to have it do is print the version in there. And then there we go. Let's personally, I like the idea of an echo before and after on just about everything. And so then I would echo down here as well. And let's move all this stuff over by 1. And then let's move this version bit right up here. Yeah. That's probably good enough. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now we've got a version, we've got a usage. Oh, whoops, did I flippy floppy these? I did flippy floppy them. Let's do that. Let's flippy floppy them that way. And then I actually want to bring this around to this, like so, like that. I think that's more appropriate. Okay. And then I should also escape these. I think that if they're, interestingly, I think that if they're not escaped, it'll still work just because of the nature of the problem. Okay, so let's check this out. So I should be able to run this if I do export Webi host beta and I do Webi, let's say node. All right, so that still works, or so it appears to. I can do Webi help. That didn't work. I wonder why not. Webi -- help. Interesting. So maybe if I try something new that I don't have yet. Let's see, because this should update itself on every install, but if I'm not actually installing something, it may not get to the point of doing that because it may not actually run the Bootstrap. So what could I get that I don't already have? What I could have, let's see, I could just get rid of something that I do have. Say opt. Yeah, let's just get rid of, I don't have anything with dash core right now, so let's do Webi. Oh, I also have that in a different branch. Let's do, okay, I could get rid of GH maybe. I don't think getting rid of GH will log me out. let's just get rid of the GH and I'll do Webi GH. And let's see what happens. Okay, so should have definitely run the Bootstrap. Let's see, did it get it from I don't see anything saying explicitly. This is from Beta Webi. Okay, let me think through this a little bit. Let's make sure that, okay, I am on the add usage branch. Let's try Webi. Oops. And Webi help. Nope. Interesting. Interesting. Let me go back into here and just see if I can add something. Where's usage at? So echo should have usage. Version and usage. All right, let's see what happens if I Webi. It definitely doesn't seem to be getting Webi from the Bootstrap Mobob. Let me try this again. Okay, so in what situation does install Webi run? Because I thought it ran every single time. Webi Bootstrap, okay. Bootstrap.sh. Let me go up a level here. By the way, I am trying to check comments. Hello to those of you joining in. I'm just working on webinstall.dev. I'm going through some PRs. Right now, one of the PRs is to add a help command, and it's not working, and I'm trying to figure out why. Let me just do something silly again. Are we seeing? Yeah, it is doing beta web install installers. So what I'm thinking is that maybe bootstrap.sh isn't loading when I think it's loading. Bootstrap.sh. Okay, what is this one? This is serve script. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I know when it runs. I think it is when I do curl. I'll have to consider changing this in the future. It's when I do curl, that's when it runs the Bootstrap. It doesn't have to run the Bootstrap otherwise. So now, should have version and usage. See, it's right there. So now if I do Webi -- help, I get that. All right, let me go back here. Okay, so I do have a problem, which is that Webi is only actually updated when you run Webi through curl, not when you run Webi through the command, which kind of makes sense because otherwise it would just update itself all the time. I wonder how I could change that. Because we kind of don't want it running itself every single time. Or do we? Certainly when we run Webi, that should update Webi. Let's see what we get here. I'm gonna have to think about this for a second. So the important thing that we should be able to move on already is that we do have Webi installing when we run Webi with curl. It gets the Bootstrap, but because it doesn't, traditionally it didn't need the Bootstrap if you already had the command, because the whole purpose of the Bootstrap was to be able to get extra information that you can't get from curl, more exact information about the architecture so it can download the right binary. Let's see. Let's see. So we want to go to Bootstrap. I'm going to go usage. And I'm going to get rid of that because we don't need that. And I am going to move this echo out, actually. So I'm going to move this echo here. And then I'm going to get rid of that echo because version really should be lean and shouldn't print anything else. Now, how do we get that Bootstrap to load always? Serve script. Serve package. All right, let's take a look here. Serve script. All right, and that's serve package. And that's serve package here. So serve package app. Serve package. Package server. All right. So that makes sense. So why is the Bootstrap not loading? So let me just do this. Let me check out what Webi. Let's see, .local bin Webi. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. Doing some bash. Okay, if Webi curl. Installer's my installer URL. All right, so we're going direct to the Bootstrap. Okay, does that make sense? My installer URL. API installers. Okay. My package.sh. So let me take a look at that over here. Installers. Serve installer. Serve installer. All right, lib serve installer. Okay. And this is assuming that we don't already need the Bootstrap. Okay. Bash txt. So what should we do here? Render batch, render PowerShell, render bash. I wonder. I'm not really sure what the right way to handle this is. So I'm gonna think on it for another minute. And if something doesn't appear obvious to me, then I'm just gonna move on. Because if you don't know how to handle the situation, move on until you do. Part of me see, there is a way. I don't think there's any place where I actually need to use the $sign. I think this entire thing is escaped. And so I think what would be a better approach to this, if I could remember the right way to do it, I think, is it when we do 3, when we do 3, then it's just plain text. I need to look up the bash double versus triple. I don't know. Let's see if this works. Because one of them means that you don't read variables. So I think it could be like this. Yeah. So with that, I don't think that we'd actually need any of the backslashes if you put the EOF in quotes, if I'm not mistaken. I think the triple will eat leading white space. All right, so here document versus here string. Interesting. Okay, bash here doc literal. That's one answer, but the more appropriate one, yeah, put it in quotes. If word is unquoted, all lines are subjected to parameter expansion. All right. So I'm going to make that a second commit on this, or I guess it'll be a third. But I do want that commit in here because what we could do is then we could put this actually under the Webi folder as webi.sh, and then we could just do a find and replace with that. And I think that would be the right thing to do. Yeah, so I could just basically put the whole contents of the file right here. And that would be all right. But for right now, I'm going to leave it as is so that we're making very few changes in this particular commit. So let's do it like that. And you see we've got a lot of escapes, but I'm just going to walk through this to make sure that none of these escapes are actually needed. I mean, none of the other way around. We don't have anything that could be escaped that isn't escaped. I'm fairly sure that everything that could be escaped here is escaped here. Yeah, trailing new lines, every single $sign, the E's, the N's, all of it. Yep. All right, so we're gonna switch this up. That's due to my inexperience with Bash at the time. Webi made me much stronger in my Bash, and I got better and better and better tooling in place. Let's see, until the point that now I feel pretty good about it. Okay. So maybe every time I run Webi, yeah, I think this is what I could do. I think I'm going to wait a second to do this, but I think every time I run Webi, it should download the newest version of Webi. I think that's what should happen. Yeah. And then I think I should... I think I'm going to turn this, because it only happens on Bootstrap. And originally, the only way that you could install things with Webi was through curl. And then we came up with the Webi command because, you know, if you run it once, it just makes sense to leave it there. So I'm in my head, I'm thinking of how to process this. I need to write it down. Okay. Idea. Always update Webi. Update the Webi command on any install. So steps are switch Webi script here doc to here doc literal. So what that would mean would be, it's going to look like a diff, and we would do minus cat. It seems kind of funny that it has that cat, because I think it could just as well be an echo, couldn't it? Echo? No, because we do want the here doc, right? So change it from cat EOF ... to plus, oops, EOF ... And then the next phase in this would be move Webi script to webi.sh. And then it would be update serve package, and serve would be serve installer and serve package / serve script. To string replace webi.sh. I think that's kind of the process here. Currently, Webi is only updated when a curl is run. You know what else? Yeah, no, we don't need to put that there for help. It should definitely update when Webi or Webi update is run. No, we're just going to stick with Webi for now, just in case we want to do an update or an upgrade command in the future that's more widespread. Which I don't think that we're going to want to do that, because Webi isn't intended to be a package manager. Let's see. And perhaps any time Webi is run. All right, so that's the thought process. So what we're going to do first to keep things simple is just take this pretty much as it was, but with my few changes. Let's see. Oh, I need to go into installers, get diff-w. All right, so we moved a few things around, and we escaped a few things that weren't escaped. And otherwise, this should be fine. Okay, so I feel pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and rumref.local bin Webi. And I think that's really all that we need to do there. And then let's curl install, say node, and make sure that that works. Actually, what I'd want to do, I don't really want to uninstall node right now. Might as well. Local opt node 1614 is what we're looking at. Whoops, 16, 14. So we're going to get rid of that one. Oops. And then we're going to get rid of .local opt node as well. So let's get rid of all that. And then I'll have to rerun a bunch of stuff. But we should be able to install node, and then we should be able to do webi-help. We should be able to do, oh, that only printed the version. -version. Okay. So I mixed those up again somehow. Version. That's version. That's version. Yeah, I don't know how I mixed those two up again, but I did. And I think version should actually come first. Okay. So let's try that again. Okay, now Webi version does the right thing, Webi version does the right thing, Webi help, and Webi -- help. I think that this could be written way better, but I'm not really quite sure how yet. Definitely needs some white space there. Let me go add that real quick. Okay, I'm going to pull this up just a touch. And then let's run Webi help. Looks good. Maybe we should do bold usage. I think that might work a little better. So usage, I'm going to put that in all caps. Let me see how they do it over here. And then everything's indented. So I think I want to keep that style of indentation. Let me check out bash bold. And then there's going to be a reset as well. Hey, Blah, what's up? Yeah, good morning. It's definitely morning for me. Yeah, it's 1:48 a.m. Sorry I didn't see you there just a moment ago. How long have you been hanging out? Oh, just 2 minutes. So I didn't miss you by much. Welcome. How are you? Okay. Let's see, printf. Does anybody have printf? How to print bold text using printf. That's what I really care about. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. And I want to print out usage all caps bold. All right, so printf. Let me make sure we're doing the same thing here. Is this right? Let's try usage. Okay, that seems to be doing okay. And then this one. All in. And then I want to do the same thing here with FAQ. FAQ. And let's do the same thing here. Maybe help. Oh, interesting. That's not what I was expecting. Okay, \1m. Is that what I did there? Let's see. Trying to get bold text. Oh, that says 4m. I don't know why that says 4m. Let's go to 1m. So 4m is underlined, and I don't really want that. Oh, and I do want the new line at the end. And I want the new line at the end here. So let's do this. Glad to hear that you're doing well, Blah. Is there anything you want to learn about today? Okay, for example, let's see. So I do from here. Actually, undo that real quick. So from here, I want to check what's 80 characters over. And it's that. Oh. Duh. So I should do install. All right, that looks good. What about the man pages here? If I do man ln, for example, I bring this in like that. Okay, it does start wrapping. So how many lines is, let's try the longest one that's here. It looks like this one right here. How many characters is in that line? That's what I want to know. Oh, we got a longer line right here. Boop, 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 boop. Is that longer? Maybe this is longer. It seems to be about the longest. I don't think there's any longer lines. Okay, let's try man page style. But first, dot length is 81. It is 81 characters long. Okay. And again, usage. Compatibility, see also. Okay. I'm just going to check a couple more things on this one. So let's say usage. Do they give examples of synopsis? Wondering if you can see. I think we actually do need to give a version for this. I'm just going to call it v1.1 just arbitrarily for right now. All right, we'll go with my version equals v1.1.15. I don't know why I'm calling it that, but we're just going to call it that. That's what it's going to be. How to change Russian nuclear codes would be nice. I'm not in a position to do that, my friend. I was going to try to change careers and start the world of game programming, but this surely is discouraging because it looks impossible to learn. Did you feel overwhelmed or discouraged when you first started? No, because I wasn't starting with the idea. I was starting in middle school, so I wasn't starting with the idea of, oh, I've got to do some big thing. I was just starting with, I'm curious if I could write a script that would, I think the first script I wrote was require a password when Windows 95 started up, because Windows 95 didn't have any sort of security in it. And I thought I could write a script that before Windows got to Windows, when it was booting from DOS to Windows, I could get it at that stage to put up a password prompt. And I think I was relatively successful in that. I think I only actually got it so that I don't think it actually would check the password. I think anything you hit it would go through. But that's the first thing I remember writing. And I remember being very confused. I had a frenemy who was reading a book on JavaScript. I think I had a butterfly on the cover, if I remember correctly. Let's see. It's probably an O'Reilly book then. JavaScript butterfly book. It's just the image that comes to my mind. And I remember it had a section on cats. Let's see. JavaScript. Let's see. Let's try JavaScript O'Reilly. I don't think it was the Rhino one. Maybe it was Peach Press or something else. Oh, no, I don't think it was that one. It wasn't the Good Parts. The Good Parts wasn't around yet. So I'm just, my memory, I'm having some false memories. Anyway, the point is that I was very confused because he was reading this page that said essentially show a cat. And I didn't get where the file for the cat was coming from. And I was just thinking, and he was kind of, if I remember correctly, he was kind of snobby because, you know, we were kind of nerdy outcasts and, you know, so we had to be snobby to people because, you know, because we were insecure and all that. But yeah, I just didn't get, and this is Bash, by the way. Bash is not really programming. And there's a lot of, Bash looks ugly. Bash is not really a programming language. Bash is a scripting language that sometimes you have to use. Let's see here. My version is what we're going to do there. Of course, it's going to complain at me that if I'm going to do variables and stuff, that I should move them over here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. But anyway, the real issue was that I was not connecting the dots on where the file of the cat picture was coming from, because obviously if you just call a function, you say show a cat, you know, he was all, oh yeah, it's going to show a cat. And I said, well, but how does it know what cat to show? Oh, it's right here. I'm like, you know, I didn't get, well, you got to go download a JPEG of a cat, and then you're going to call your file cat.jpg, and then you're going to load that into the image tag. So it was I bet he's a millionaire by now. I was a slow starter in that regard. Well, yeah, I think his name was Philip, if I remember correctly. I could be completely wrong about that. I think he had freckles. I could be completely wrong about that. You know, false memories and all. Whenever you try to recall a memory, you actually write the memory over again. And so memories get worse as you age. And this is why sometimes people are actually well-intentioned and not trying to lie or embellish a story many-fold when they're talking about something that was from their teens or 20s and they're 70 years old. So some of the stories of people where they, you know, go to believing that they were actually the person that was in the war when really it was their friend. Sometimes they're trying to embellish and make themselves look good, but sometimes it's that as they tell the story over and over again, they forget that it was their friend and they think it was them. And that kind of thing happens honestly. Kind of a weird thing. But, yeah, so I did not feel overwhelmed. Also, so I hate to say it, but, you know, like everybody, I didn't have a mentor. And so I fell into the pit of PHP. So before college, I was trying to learn, I don't know, object-oriented PHP or something. I had a book from, I think it was Peach Press. I think it was the orange book. PHP 4 and MySQL, I think is what it was. PHP 4 plus MySQL. And that one was a little daunting. Let's see. Maybe it was PHP 5 in MySQL. Let's be PHP book. I think it was PHP 4. Yeah, this is it right here. This is the book. This is probably the first programming book other than Visual Basic. The very first one I picked out of the attic, or got it at a yard sale. No, I think I got it out of the attic because my dad learned a little bit of Visual Basic for doing some stuff in DOS. because my grandma wanted to run QuickBooks for his business, and that's kind of how I got a computer in the home a little bit before a lot of other people did. But this was it right here. Now this one says PHP 5 and PHP 6, A-Press. It's not PeachPress, it's A-Press. But I was really confused because the syntax in PHP is just really confusing. It's not written by programmers. It's not written for programmers. It was a real hack job that basically, because the snobby Python and Perl developers wouldn't give the PHP guy the time of day because he was too stupid, he went off, and then it's kind of their direct responsibility for being snobbish that PHP was created, because if they'd kind of invited him into the fold and say, hey, you're an idiot, but we're going to be patient with you and help you learn and help you solve your problem and believe that it's a real problem, then we wouldn't have had PHP in the first place. We'd have a better Perl or Python. You can't really have a better Perl, but maybe a better Python for the web. And yeah, so it's just, PHP is a terrible language to learn first because it's so daggone confusing. Then I got in school and started learning Java, and then the object-oriented stuff started to click for me, because they use weird terms in PHP, associative arrays versus, I don't know what they call normal arrays, but it's just, look, it's a hash map, bro. It's a hash map. Don't make it weird. Try to call it an associative array. No, it's not an associative array. There's no such thing as an associative array. It's a hash map. Just like there's no such thing as a sparse array. It's a hash map. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Does that help at all? Any other questions in that regard? By the way, Josh, let's maybe clip that and say, that was a little Q&A. We'll call it Q&A from the part where I read Tubso's question. Was I intimidated when I started programming? Maybe that's what we'll title that. By the way, Josh is the editor. So sooner or later, we're actually going to have clips from these live streams. So instead of having to watch the 4-hour stream for the good parts, you can just get the little 5-minute rants and raves and Q&A and that sort of thing. And oh yeah, it should be, I got this on auto post now. There should be a link to the Discord posting in a few minutes. I'll actually just go ahead and kick it off right now. So in case you want to join in, I do have a content request channel and that sort of thing in the Discord. Oh wait, no, that was the wrong one. That's Beyond Code Bootcamp on YouTube. That might be where we post the clips. Or I might post them on this channel. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, but yeah, I'd say, just start with something small. Start with something that you're interested in. Don't think, oh yeah, I got to get a big job. Just think, what is something in my life that sucks that if I knew how to program would suck less? And don't pick a big, huge thing like if I could do automatic trading with AI and become a millionaire. Pick something small, like if I could get data out of this website and turn it into a table in Excel, or if I could get this Excel sheet and turn it into something that would turn a light on and off based on the time that's in the Excel sheet. Think about tables, think about things that are local to your home or your work. One of the first programs I wrote was a program to clock in and clock out of my job at school as a TA. And that was something that got the attention of, when I went into an interview and they asked me, well, what kind of experience do you have? And I said, well, not much. I just wrote this little utility to clock in and clock out. That's enough. Because most people don't have initiative and don't know how to think through a problem from beginning to, let's not say end, because the end is maybe something you can't ever reach because it's a big idea. I still have not created out of that what I wanted to, which is essentially, I want to have a system so that people at McDonald's, let's use McDonald's here, can be able to trade hours with other people and easily get manager approval so that managers don't hedge up their own way and so that employees can have free communication. That's where I wanted to get to with that. But I just started with the ability to clock in and clock out through this web tool that we had for clocking in and out. Okay. In Lua, there's only one data structure called a table, and you can use it as a regular array or don't call it associative array. Great Wolf, I'm going to boot you off the channel. Basically, it's a Python list and dictionary mashed into one. Yeah, it's just a dictionary. I mean, I guess it depends. I guess the JIT can choose how to optimize it, but that's the same thing with JavaScript. In JavaScript, everything's an object. There is no such thing as an array, but in the JIT, it optimizes it. And if it starts to look like you're using it like an array, which can work if you just use the bracket syntax, then it's going to start optimizing it down that route. And if it starts to look like you're using it as a hash map, then it's going to start optimizing it around that route, which is basically no optimization. And if it looks like you're using it as an instance object, then it's going to optimize it down that route. I appreciate you taking all this time explaining this. Yeah, it's actually really good for me. I enjoy doing it, and it's a good break from the, sometimes the monotony of whatever it is that I'm working on, to just take a little 5-10 minute break and just chat with people. So I like doing it. And if you would like to join in for other ones, I'd go ahead and invite you to like, sub, follow, all the things, bell, notifications, yada, yada. Because yeah. And like I said, I hesitate to use the word promise because it's such a heavy laden word, but I really, really, really intend to get through some content requests this week. I'm thinking I might just blow through a bunch of them and then ask Josh to edit them out into clips. But the one thing I like to do with the content requests is when somebody puts one in, to tag that person before I do it. Say at the beginning of the day, say, hey, I think I'm going to do this content request tonight. But because of various things that have been going on, I just haven't done them in a couple weeks. Anyway, where was I with this? What was the last thing that I did? I just wanted to see if we could get a better output here. So I was going to do usage. And what if I just did this? Install developer tools. And then I could just do like that. And then I could do uninstall. Uninstall. And then we could go like this. And I could get rid of the two uninstall things. Let's see, what else could we do here? Yeah, so let's try this. Let's say to uninstall something. Almost everything that is installed with Webi is scoped to its see. Blah, 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 blah. So you can remove it like so. There we go. And then, however, or some packages have special uninstall instructions. Check. To be sure. I think that's good. And then let's say always remember. Let's go from here to 80 characters over. I guess that's good enough. Okay, let's try this one more time. See, these little things, they just take a while. Okay, looking for matching quote. Where did I mess up the matching quotes? Is there one there? There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. Let's go through each line. There, there, there. Quotes are there and there. Quotes there. 174. Okay, let's see what we can do if we go from, let's assume this is the top, which it is. All right, so let's go down 174 and see where that takes us. Oh, no, end of file. Okay, so somewhere in here, we're missing a quote, and it's probably on one of these lines. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ah! Haha! Thank you, highlighting. I don't really like it that way. I'm going to move that. I think it muddies it up just a little too much. So I'm going to put use Webi to install modern developer tools you love. It's kind of a weird usage, but whatever. I'm going to go with it. And then we'll have example here. All right, let's try that and see how that looks. Boom. I think I'm going to back that out and just usage is going to be the example, and that's going to be good enough. And then I think I'm done fooling around with this because otherwise I'll spend all night on it. Copy is so hard. It's naming things, you know? But copy is what in the content world is what you call the content. Content's called copy. Let's see. And I'm going to put in here, and certainly not apt either. Shudder. There we go. A little bit of personality in it. I think this is good enough. Okay, what do we have in man? Synopsis? How about summary? I'll call it summary. I'm going to do that. We're going to do summary. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's it. That's it. I'm done. I'm done goofing around with this. No one's going to use it anyway. I've wasted too much time on it as it is, but I did want it to look nice, and I guess I kind of accomplished that. So, you know, win. Unless you disagree and you don't think it looks nice, in which case, screw you, pal. All right. Maybe this should be something that if you ran it by mistake blindly, it shouldn't. Nah, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, this looks great. I'm down. Okay, so this closes out this PR. I'm just going to add this. Okay. Now let's go ahead and make sure I'm going to rough some stuff again. And we're going to make sure if I do Webi node, nothing breaks. Okay, and if I do Webi help, nothing breaks. And if I rough all that and I do, again, Webi node, nothing breaks. And then since I did that, now I got to do npm install -g, all the things. There we go. I got to have a command for all the things. Okay, let me get back here to comments. Okay, no additional comments as of yet. So Tubso, I am curious, where do you think you'd want to start when it comes to game programming? Because I'd recommend. So I think in the book Python the Hard Way, which I definitely think that's I guess Python can be used for game development, but well, it depends on what you want to do. But I think you could do some really simple web-based games just in a web browser. Use WebSockets and you'd be able to create something. But really, you should start on the command line. That's where you should absolutely start. You can't go full on 3D. Just start with a guessing game, which I think in Python the Hard Way, which you can get the book for free on the website. You go view sample chapters or something, and then it actually has all of the chapters. So there's Python 3 the Hard Way, and it has all the chapters. But then if you want the video material and the supplementary material, or if you want the physical book, you need to buy the physical book. And it's better to buy the physical book from whatever the other bookstore is, not from Amazon. For technical books, generally you want to stay away from Amazon. The reason for that being is that generally when you buy them from the official publisher store, you get the ebook for free and you get the supplementary material included as part of your, so you'll buy the book and then you'll get your download links for the supplementary material. If you buy it on Amazon, you have to go through this process where you have to upload your Amazon receipt and you have to prove that you bought it on Amazon and, and then oftentimes if it's a new book, you actually get it later than everybody else. So for example, I bought Rust for Rustaceans and I didn't get it until a month or two after everybody else got it who ordered it directly through the publisher. And I didn't get the preview ebook either. Okay, what's Phaser.io? Oh, okay, browser games. Okay. Let me just bring that up on screen real quick. Phaser. Okay. Learn. Getting started, making your first game. Yeah. Yeah. They're kind of teaching you some really, really, really old stuff that you probably shouldn't use here. But then again, I don't know if there's anything better. But you should be using Caddy as your local web server. That's what's going to be fastest and easiest. Not these things. And you definitely shouldn't be using PHP. So Python doesn't make for good web servers, but it's easy to learn. There we go. HTTP server. That's good for Node. Sure. I agree with that. Definitely not Sublime Text. It's not 1990 anymore. Visual Studio Code or Vim. Vim Essentials. Let me go ahead and plug that real quick. I think it's important to learn Vim, but you got to spend 5 minutes to learn the basics of it. It takes about 5 minutes to become proficient in Vim. But if you use Vim Essentials, then you got your, everything gets set up nicely. But some people just don't. They want to take the first 5 minutes to learn how to use it. And I get that, but I still think you should. Okay, so this is from, let's see, downloading Phaser. I don't know, but here's the thing. Don't let me discourage you from anything, because all you need to do is take the first step. That's really all you need to do. It doesn't matter which first step you take, because you don't learn to program with the programming language that you want to program in. You learn to program in the language that you find something that matches what you want to do and that has tutorial information that you can easily follow and understand. Because if you actually learn to program, then transferring that knowledge to any other language is very simple, because every language has a for loop, every language has a function, every modern language has closures, every modern language has pretty much all the same features. It's just a little bit different style, and some have certain benefits over the others. So if you wanted to get into heavy game development, Rust would be the way to go. Probably not a great first programming language, but you know, kind of stuff depends. And my biases are not always best for beginners, if I'm being honest. Because I come at from the perspective of someone who's gone through all the learning process, and to be honest, it's really hard to find good beginner material. So if you can just start there and you get something that works, then there you go. Okay, so git commit -m. This is going to be docs, Webi. Actually, it's going to be feet. Update, help, and version text. Commands. Okay, git rebase -i main. And then, oh. I'm going to reword that one. And then I got to think about the PowerShell one. Oh, that makes me shudder. So we're going to call this feet Webi add help command. Yeah, that's good. Go with that. And then let's take a look at the PowerShell one. Okay, it's going to be Bootstrap.Ps1. Let me just do git diff head. Okay, Webi. All right. And then let me try to get this right. Yep, that looks good now. Let's see. Oh, foreground color. Oh, I don't know if I want to get the bold in there. That'd be nice, but PowerShell is not my jam, so I think I'm just going to let this one slide on by. All right, but let's do -v or -- version or probably what, /v. And then we'll do some of this in here too, I guess. I'm just going to say we're going to copy it. And then, I don't know, do we really want to exit 1 on this? Couldn't we exit 0 on it just fine? I don't know. All right. And this was, what did we decide to name this? 1.3.15 or something like that? I just want to say, was it my version equals? How do we do all the $ variables here? Progress, preference, yada yada. Okay. So my version equals And then we could do v1.3.15 or whatever we decided for the other one. We take a look at that. Webi, pwsh, oops, webi.sh, no, Bootstrap. That's where this one went. It went into Bootstrap. And what did I say? My version equals 1.1.15. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and so then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to throw it in wherever I can, like right there, for example. And then I'm going to throw it in down here the same way. All right. Now I'm going to have to test it on Windows. I hate testing things on Windows. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to do FAQ here. I'm going to get rid of that extra echo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's keep this consistent. New usage. We're just going to keep it like that. 3, 4. Yeah. All right, that's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to have summary here. Summary. And then we're going to have uninstall here. Uninstall. And then I need to copy over what I put in the other place. This is actually not how you uninstall in Windows. Windows has a different command. What is it? Windows recursive delete directory. I think it's maybe rmdir. Okay, rumdir s. Okay. Without confirmation. Yeah, let's go ahead and add confirmation. That'll be okay. And then what we'd actually need to do here would be, I guess we'd have to do backslashes. And then it would be, or would it be user profile backslash like that? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about this. Okay. Foreground color, always remember. All right, let me go ahead and test this. I think we want to have this exit 0. I don't think we want to have it exit 1. All right, I'm going to test this on my Windows machine. Okay, Rust for games? Yeah, absolutely. So you want to be where the ball is going, not where the ball has been, right? So by the time that you become a game developer, you're going to be developing games in Rust, not in C++, because nobody wants their games to crash and everybody wants their games to be really efficient and fast. So you don't want to use an old, bloated, slower, crash all the time language like C++ when you could be using Rust. So eventually games will have to shift to Rust because it's the only language that is actually suitable for high performance games, right? So Rust is going, that's just one of the areas where the need is so strong that I could be wrong about this. I've been wrong about things in the past, but I've also been right a lot. You want to be using Rust for gaming. If you're going to get into gaming, you want to be using Rust. If you're not, yeah. And you're gonna have an advantage there, because let's say that you're at a legacy game company where they're still using C++ by the time you get hired. Well, if you have been doing stuff in Rust, you're going to be able to bring more to the table because you can still integrate with the C++ code because Rust can export C compatible shared libraries and stuff, right? So you're going to be able to bring more to the table and you're going to be able to stand out. But again, I'm not really in the gaming industry. It just makes so much sense because on a desktop, you're CPU constrained. You can only use so much CPU and that's whatever is available. And that's the kind of environment where Rust is its absolute best. Also, people just hate it when things crash on their computer. So if it's both, it needs to be performant and it needs to not crash. Rust is literally your only choice. So, and anybody who's been a C++ developer that uses Rust, I don't think I've heard any of them say anything except for, oh my gosh, where was this 15 years ago, right? Um, let's see. Yeah. I agree. Libraries, frameworks. Yep. Uh, so Rust, like I said, Rust is good for where you have those couple of requirements. Go is just a general purpose, good programming language to go to. You can even do desktop apps and mobile apps in Go with the Fine framework nowadays. Phaser 3 examples might be more interesting to look at. I believe might be the other way. Nobody will remember Rust and games will still be written in C++. We will see. Nobody will remember Rust. I don't. All right, tell me what you're talking about there because Rust has kind of been blowing up and top companies are re-implementing anything that is CPU bound or extremely sensitive in nature, should not crash, must be correct code, is being rewritten in Rust. You're seeing major projects, initiatives from Google, from Amazon, anything in fintech. And then gaming is kind of big in Rust. So, yeah. PHP and JS are crappy. JS doesn't have to be crappy. JS was not meant to be crappy. People made it crappy by committee because they want it to be crappy because basically Microsoft has a bunch of C# developers and what are they going to do with them? Every project that they've done with C# has failed miserably. Their whole Metro system for Windows failed. The Windows Phone failed. Mono, the Linux integration thing never took off. So, I mean, basically everything that they've done in C# has failed, and yet they have all these legacy developers that they need to put to work or fire. So, the C# guy wrote TypeScript as a way to have a scripting language for C# that Microsoft C# developers would be more familiar with. And they brought the whole kitchen sink with them, and yeah, I wouldn't say, I don't think that, I get that people that have zero mentorship still fall into PHP, but I don't think, I mean, other than WordPress, which is significant, but people don't use PHP, right? People that use WordPress don't generally know how to code in PHP. They just use WordPress, right? So it's written in PHP, but it's not people writing PHP. But I don't think PHP has quite so much a foothold, um, because you'll never. I could be wrong about this, but you'll never find a boot camp that's teaching PHP because nobody that's hiring developers wants to hire someone for PHP, and that I feel pretty strong about. I don't see anybody that says, "Oh yeah, we need PHP developers." I don't see job postings for PHP developers. I know a lot of people start projects in PHP because literally they have no access to the developer community, and people that are outside of the developer community often fall into PHP. But um, yeah, I I don't yeah, that's one that I'm pretty darn confident in. You should not invest time in PHP. It is not going anywhere. Okay, so let's see. Let's do Webi. I guess I need to do curl https beta.webinstall.dev/Webi pipe PowerShell. Uh-oh, I broke something. Looks pretty darn broken. Oh, whoops, I see what I did. I forgot to do the -AMS. Curl.exe. I also need to do curl.exe. Okay. There we go. Now what if I do Webi-help? Hey-oh, it's working. Summary, usage, uninstall, FAQ. Okay, and then and then there's also a del command, right, in Windows. Okay. So I think this is good. So if I do help, if I do /?, if I do Webi node, whoops. Okay, that still grabs node like it should. And if I do, I'm going to try Webi version and /v. Webi version, whoops. Webi version. Yeah, everything there looks good. Okay. So I'm gonna call this one a win, I think. Okay. Okay, and then I'm also going to update this one here. Webi, Bootstrap. And then what was it? rm-rf. rm-f bin. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to fold this into whoops, hold on. What do I want to do here? Okay, so let me go back here real quick. Git checkout. What do I call this branch? Whoops. Git checkout-b add usage to. And I'm going to check out add usage. And then I'm actually going to do git reset hard. Let's do head 10. And then I'm going to pull. Let me go look at the commits here. Jojo byte. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do git checkout add usage to. Whoops. Let me reset -- hard here. Git rebase. main. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to do get checkout usage 2 here, and we should only see 2 files change. And so then I'm going to do commit-m, and then I'm going to say here, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Dang it. Undo, undo. No, I don't want to go full screen. I didn't even want to go full screen. Take me back. Every once in a while I hit the wrong hotkey, you know. Such is life. Okay. I want to say bash and PowerShell. Okay. So we're just going to reword these and then call them good. So this is feet, Webi, add help command usage for bash, feet, Webi, add help command to PowerShell. Okay. And then let's take a look at this one more time. Looks good. Let's push that up. And then I'm going to approve it. And then we're going to move it. And it is 3 a.m., so I should probably go to bed. I'm not really that tired. I did have a really good sleep last night. Really, really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to review. Thank you so much. You've got the dash and /dash direct app. I'd love to buy you lunch. There we go. Partially verified. Well, that's no good. Interesting. But it's good enough, it says. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take that live then. So I'm going to go ahead and check my branch name again, check out main, get rebase, add usage, get push, and we're all good. Okay. Now I promised you, Arun, I'd actually review his commit, so I got to do that. He's got 2 here. So I am actually going to do those. I'm going to do those next. Now these ones are going to take a little bit more of a careful eye because there's a lot of files that changed. Shouldn't be anything significant about them changing, but there's a lot of files that changed. So this all looks good. I think the other one needs to come first. Let me see how he did this. Did he do these independently? Because there's possibly going to be a conflict between these two if he didn't base it off of his own changes. Okay, so all of that's moving. Yeah, so we're going to have a conflict on every single one of these files, which is a little bit annoying because he's changing the same files. We'll see. Which way should I apply these? I think the way to apply these that might work would be to actually run this one first, because this one is removing stuff. Because if I run the other one first, then we add stuff, and then we remove stuff, well, yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other as to how these can be applied cleanly. But I want to try. I think this one first is going to be the right way to go about it. So let me go ahead and open up a Webi review. Again, Webi review is a tool that I wrote. I actually have a command called GH review. I ought to post that somewhere. But I think there's a similar shortcut in GH, but it just allows me to copy the user and branch and then give it a name locally. So this one is going to be called schmatter to front matter. That's the name of this one. Okay, and I'm going to rebase it off of main. There might be some conflict there, hopefully not too much. Oh no, not any. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. And then I'm going to reword this anyway. So this should be chore chore schmatter to front matter. Closes there we go. Let's give it that. And then I'm going to pull this over into next. We need a branch here. Get checkout next. Get rebase main. Get rebase schmatter to front matter. And I'm going to do get push -f. And then I'm going to pull out his other one. I'm just going to look at them both at the same time and see how bad the conflicts are between these two, because they're changing things that are just right next to each other. Also, I think the other one needs to be done first because I think that the schmatter might break if we just put the set E -set U before this bit here, because I think the way the schmatter was built is that it looks for the first, it looks for this stuff starting with a pound space until the first not pound space. And so I think that with adding these in, I think that would actually break this. So I think we want to apply the other one first for that reason as well. Anyway, we're going to do, let's do this here. So we're going to do Webi review, and then we'll call this one bash strict. Make bash strict. Let's call that one. All right, and then we can rebase on main. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and just push this like so, like that. So that at least that's up to date. Get rebase -I main. So yeah, I'm going to reword this, and we're just going to, this is just a chore. And this is lint, and then add for strict bash. Okay, call that one. So I'm going to check out next. I'm going to do get log here just to see. Yep, that one. Oh, and you know what? I should go back to that one, which was what? Make bash strict. Get rebase -I main. So 394 closes number 394. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to check out next. And then let's see here. Actually, I'm going to do reset hard. Add, say, well, sure, 10. Get rebase main. And then I'm going to do get rebase make bash strict. And then I'm going to do get rebase. What was the other one called? Schmatter. So rebase means that one should come first. All right. And of course, as I predicted, there is a conflict in every single file just about. But these are all going to be super easy to fix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these into I'm just going to call it edit.sh. And then I'm going to replace all instances of, let's see, modified : with vim. And now I should be able to run this and then just edit each of these. And it should be pretty simple to just say, yeah, get rid of this. And I should be able to repeat that for basically every single one of them. So that way it's not too hard. I'll check those comments in just a second. All right. You really like that I have strong opinions? Yes, that is one reason to be here on the channel for sure. So I was never really interested in the game aspect of it personally. There were a couple little, I liked when I did the Boggle game as a homework assignment when I was in college before I dropped out. But games have never really interested me. I guess that's maybe because I just play Nintendo and I'm pretty satisfied with Zelda and Mario Kart. To recommend certain operating system, yeah. So Mac OS. So yes, there's a flipping huge difference between, say, Mac and Windows. There's almost no difference between Mac and Linux. So Mac is Unix, and Unix is what every flipping thing you see and touch runs, right? So from your printer to your thermostat to your router to the thing that plays movies in the airplane. I mean, you will hardly ever encounter a computer that isn't Unix. The small minority of computers that aren't Unix are the Windows laptops, right? And I guess maybe there's no Windows tablets anymore, right? It's only Windows laptops. So iPhone, Android, Mac, all the watches, all the smart devices, all the stuff that's in your home. If it's not a microcontroller, meaning that it just doesn't have an operating system at all, it's running Unix. And the exceptions are Windows laptops and Redbox. Because Redbox is actually built on top of the Xbox. Weird, right? Or at least it's Microsoft contracted the same company that Microsoft contracted to create the Xbox also created Redbox. So Xbox and Redbox are similar in their internals. But aside from that, you're not really going to run into anything that uses Windows. Nothing on the internet runs Windows. You think of you might have a Windows computer, but you use Unix 100,000 times more often than you use Windows because every single website you visit is running Unix or Linux. I'm just calling them both Unix because they're so close to the same. The differences are so minor that it's not really worth, it's nuanced details, right? Gmail is Linux. Every website you visit, none of them are Windows, right? Nobody is running Windows for anything in terms of any sort of development pipeline or any of that stuff. Now, gaming is a little bit different because with gaming, you're targeting people that are either running consoles, which are Unix, so Nintendo Switch, that's Unix, PlayStation, Unix, Xbox, they got some sort of Windows thing on there, I guess, but most of the game consoles are Unix or Linux. So if you're looking at gaming and you're looking at PC gaming, then yeah, you got to target Windows. But Mac has now released the most powerful computers on the planet, and Mac is vying for a position in the gamer market, which is clear from their marketing and their advertising and things they're starting to do. So, it'd be good. Your games are going to run better on a Mac if you build games in such a way that you don't exclude Mac, right? You're going to get more performance. This is the first time in history that Mac is better price per dollar than PCs are, but we've hit that point. So, yeah, you're going to have a little bit more debugging that you have. Windows is just always more difficult. And I think that's why a lot of people that do games probably are developing on Windows, because it's so difficult. And if you're there native on Windows, then you deal with all those problems right away firsthand. Um, but if you're using something abstract like Unity, I don't think it would matter. It's just if you actually need performance. If you're using Unity, or what's that other one? That there was a really popular shooter game about 10 or 15 years ago. I think it was about 15 years ago. Unreal. Yeah, if you're using Unity or Unreal, it's one of those abstract frameworks where it's not really about performance. It's just about getting something out quick. Then, maybe you don't have to deal with that. On the ones where you have to deal with performance related issues, you're going to have to build certain functions special to Mac, and certain functions special to Windows, and certain functions special. It's just like the mobile development, right? You got to build some special stuff for Android and some special stuff for iPhone. Because anytime you add layers of abstraction, you're creating a worse experience for the person. For example, a game that I absolutely love, Horizon Chase. This is the kind of game that reasonably could have run on a Nintendo 64, and the download size on this thing is just flipping insane. It should be about 64 megabytes. Instead, it's okay, on Android it's actually quite a bit smaller. It's only 287 megs. But yeah, on the Nintendo Switch, I think it's a gigabyte or something insane. But I love this. This is I grew up playing Top Gear, and this is basically Top Gear 2, just re-implemented with slightly better graphics that are more what you would expect on a Nintendo 64 as opposed to what you expect on the Super Nintendo. But that game should be, maybe a couple dozen megabytes. It shouldn't be hundreds of megabytes, but that's the thing you run into with the frameworks, is you're getting all this garbage that you don't need, and then people have to deal with. But again, does it matter that it takes gosh darn freaking 2 minutes to load when it should be instant? For $5, no, not really. Okay. Yeah, I am still recruiting for Dash Incubator projects. Yes, I am, Akshat. Big games are complicated beasts these days. I can imagine someone spend their whole career making and optimizing resource maps, models, textures, manager, the rest of his life. Yeah. But you don't want to run the same OS on your desktop and on a server. Linux is great on servers. And let him stay there. Yeah, I've been there. There's always something going wrong. Now I mainly use Windows 10 with Ubuntu on WSL. Yeah, well, you can't. Yeah, okay. WSL2. I think you can test games with WSL2, because you can get. I forget what that game library is called. There's SDL, and then there's another one that you need, but I don't remember what the name of it is. But I think with WSL2, it's a complete virtualization layer. So I think you get access to those APIs. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe because it's a complete virtualization layer, you don't. Because WSL1 is essentially Wine. That's what it is. It's just Wine done better because there's more money behind it, and Microsoft wanted it done better. But WSL1 is equivalent to Wine. It is an API layer for the Windows kernel that acts as though that provides a shim between Linux, and so that Linux programs make syscalls for the Linux kernel, and the Windows kernel, the shim intercepts those and wraps them for the Windows kernel. So that's Wine is the opposite. Wine is you're on Linux and you're running a Linux kernel. You don't run a Windows kernel, but the syscalls are intercepted and wrapped for the Linux kernel. All right. Okay, I think I'm almost done with these. I think there's about 10 of them. I think we've got to be pretty close here. Bunch of redirects. Okay. I'm going to run this one more time to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, it's not yelping at me. 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 Okay. Okay, I see that they all have set e-set u. I see that I'm not getting any errors. And then the last thing that I want to see is that I got bin bash on the top of each of them, because that I wasn't actually checking for before. Let me see. Yep, it's there, it's there, it's there. Whoops. It's there. It's there. It's there. It's there. Okay, cool. So I feel pretty confident about that. That's interesting. How did that not go the way that I was expecting it? Ah, doesn't like all the symbolic linkity dinkity. All right, rust.vim. Let's get rid of that for a second. Ah, dang it. Okay, I'm going to go into my edit, and I'm going to change it from vim to get add. So vim to get add. There we go. Let's run it that way. Okay, so get rebase -- continue, I think. Cool beans. Okay, so let's go ahead and push that up to next, so then I can take a look at it. We can do, just going to do compare and pull requests, so I should just be able to look down here and see that's all just moved over. Shouldn't be any surprises here. Looks about as simple as can be. Okay, this one didn't have schmatter. It just had strict mode set. Okay, then we're back to this one did, this one did, this one did. And again, schmatter is a term that I made up. Did not exist before. Let me make sure the schmatter is correct in all these cases. Correct, correct, correct. I'm just giving a brief look to make sure the dots are up the top and the bottom. This is the kind of thing where I prefer that somebody submit a script of how they did it rather than just do the manual labor. One, it's good for them. It's also good for me. Boop, boop. Okay, this was the one where, okay, the set e-u was already there. Okay. This one, okay, these ones, they're just replacing it at the top here, which is fine. Okay, that all looks good. All right. And then let's make sure that there was no just sanity check here, .ps1, no, .ps1 files. All right, cool. So I'm going to say, I'm going to approve both of these that Jeroen put in. They look good to me. Oh, I do need to check a couple of things first. Actually, before I do that, let me go back. Because what I need to check is that nothing broke, right? So let's just take a look. So let me do get reset head ~2, and then let's just try to install a couple of these things and make sure that nothing broke. And it should only affect let's see, okay, archiver. Let's see what else we're going to look at. Vim essentials. Whoa, what? NE command not found. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's not good. Hold on. Let's make sure we got the latest here, because I may have just broken something. That would be really, really bad and really embarrassing. Okay. Okay, I think that was just a byproduct of previous testing. Whew. Okay, good. Whew. That scared me for a second. Thought I checked everything and then seemed that I got an error. All right. Let me check comments out here again. Yeah, Android is Linux. I mean, and all of the game systems are Linux, right? So PlayStation is Linux. Nintendo Switch is Unix. I think PlayStation switched from Linux to Unix, actually. I think PlayStation 3 was Linux, but PlayStation 4 is Unix. And then the Switch is literally an Android tablet. It is literally an Android tablet. That's how the exploit was done on the original Switch, is that they left basically on Android tablets, you can hold volume and start at the same time, and you can go into debug mode. It goes into the Android debugger. And on the original Nintendo Switch, they didn't sever that ability. They didn't physically cut it off on the board. So when it hits the CPU, the Android CPU, it goes into the Android bootloader mode, and then you were able to load debug code and get it to go into the Android system. Nintendo Switch doesn't actually load Android. It's a different version of Unix, but because it's an Android tablet and it had all the Android tablet features, the Android tablet feature has a CPU debug mode that was direct in the hardware to allow you to basically reboot your Android device and reload it if it gets into a terribly failed state. And so you basically, one of the controller buttons, I think it was the plus, I don't remember what it is, but one of the controller buttons and then the volume button together were the same as the home button and the volume or something like that. So I've actually done that exploit. I've run Atmosphere on my Switch. So yeah. Gaming on the Linux desktop. I don't know. I mean, anything that is on Steam. Basically, as people are building games to also run on Apple, which is now the best budget gaming system, essentially, because dollar for dollar you get more out of an M1. So I mean that may not happen. I hope it does. But if people are going to be building for Unix, they're also going to be building for Linux, and then it's not going to be dead. And when gamers realize how much more performance they can get out of Linux and Unix, because the market has to shift, and Apple just dropped the bombshell, right? So as gamers realize that they can get more performance if they run a clean, optimized operating system, I think that I don't know. I hope that Linux on the desktop will actually get a revival, because if they're going to make it for Mac, they're going to make it for Linux. I think. I mean, it could be wrong. But if they, so if they make it so it can work on Mac, they'll make it so it can work on Linux. And if it can work on Linux, why would you run your game system on Windows, where it's going to get bogged down by all of the Windows crap, if you could have it running direct on, the fastest hardware with the lowest memory usage, where everything's really dedicated toward your game. But then again, maybe not, because I think that NVIDIA actually has specialized drivers for Windows that bypass a lot of the Windows stuff. So you basically get the equivalent of Metal on Mac OS through the special NVIDIA drivers. So maybe I'm completely wrong on that one at all. But it's something I hope. I don't know if it's something I really believe. It's something I hope. I mean, you can watch the, I'm convinced from my usage of the M1 that the M1 is banging, you know, and the games that do run on the M1 run way better on the M1 from what the reports are. They cheated physics? No, it's an ARM processor with a bunch of GPU cores. And if you get, here's the other thing, you'd have to, if you get the M1 Max, then it has a fan. Now I never hear the fan run, but the fan is there. It's basically inaudible. If I held my ear up to it, I probably could hear it when I'm streaming and it's doing all this encoding and everything. But the fan is there, and there is a 90-watt power adapter for, or maybe it's, I think it's more than that. I think it's a 120-watt power adapter for the M1 Max. So because it's using an ARM system, and everything's just more streamlined. Now granted, if you're talking about 500 watts, then maybe not. But again, it's the dollar for dollar comparison. I don't know how much a 500-watt GPU costs. I mean, certainly you can be inefficient, right? You can burn a lot of electricity by being inefficient, because heat is the definition of inefficiency when it comes to CPUs and GPUs. Heat is the definition of inefficiency. So if something is perfectly inefficient, then it is a space heater. And if something is perfectly efficient, then it doesn't exist, but it would generate no heat, which that's not possible. So if you can design a much more efficient architecture, then you can eliminate a lot of heat, and watts are essentially heat. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which games, because again, I'm not a gamer, but I just watched, I think it was a Max Tech review where, because there was a Linus review that Max Tech said, look, this is a little bit disingenuous because you're cherry picking games that are not optimized for the M1. They haven't been released as optimized for the M1. So if you cherry pick in that way, then okay, yeah, you can show some really bad performance. And then there was a couple of bugs because M1 was still new, and so there were some bugs in some of the libraries that had been released. And so were there conditions under which it obviously was failing hard because the numbers didn't even make sense. And so the Max Tech review was basically, okay, so we took games that have been built intentionally for the M1 and run them, and the benchmark scores are on par or surpassing dollar for dollar. So I hope I'm not misrepresenting that. Okay, what's this one here? Oh, and Akshat, if you want to chat about the Dash incubator stuff, hit me up on Discord. I do have a litmus test that I would want you to solve first, but I am still looking for people. My litmus test is pretty grueling. It's something that you ideally should be able to solve in close to 15 minutes in terms of the broad solution, and then maybe take you another half hour to work out some nuanced details with, oh, how do I get the spacing to go here instead of there? But it takes a lot of people upwards of 4 hours or even a couple of days and a couple of attempts, which is fine. But the point is, you should be able to arrive at the solution. And if you can't arrive at the solution fairly quickly, then it makes things tough, you know? Okay, so what is this about then? What did I just do? I did a get reset, right? Hold on. What was the last command I ran here? Get reset head 2. I should see more changes than that. Git log. Because I should be seeing not just the README changes, I should be seeing also, what branch am I on? I'm on next, right? Yeah, I'm on next. So I should not just be, this is a little bit weird to me because this is not what I'm expecting. Okay, yeah, install sh. But wait, where's install.sh in this list? This list is not showing me install sh. It's showing me readme. What is going on? Oh. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay. So what was I doing? What was my purpose in resetting that? I had a reason that I did it. Now I don't remember what the reason was. What did I want to test here? Maybe I just wanted to see this. Ah, dang it. Well, I know the other thing I wanted to test was, okay, it's looking like this is going pretty good. So I've got a pretty good confidence that, yeah, this is doing what it's supposed to do. But I also need to see the web pages, that the web pages are being generated correctly. So let me go to, let's say iTerm themes. Most of these are aliases. Probably why they haven't been updated. So iTerm themes. Yeah, most of these descriptions should have been something else. They should have been. I wonder if I can just go fix that as well. Why did I reset this? Oh, because I wanted to look at the diff. That's why. Probably. It's probably because I wanted to look at the diff. No? Because I could have not. So instead of description, tagline. So all of these ones that have a tagline, this, and then -w, I'm going to include that in here. All of these should be replaced. And all of them are ones with aliases, so this is all right. And then how many spaces should we have? All right, so it's looking like everything's looking good. I don't remember why I did this reset. I wish I did. But I'm feeling pretty good about these, so I'm just going to go approve it. So files changed. Approve. And I'm going to go look at the other one as well, and then I'm going to decide what order to put them in. And I think I've kind of got that worked out already. So let me go look at the other one, this one here. And then I think I'm going to put in one more commit with these, which is, and I'll do it on the one that has the readmes with the new files, which is not this one, but the other one, which is the one I'm going to do first anyway, right? So we're going to go here, matter thing. Yeah, we're just going to get checkout dot rm star. Is this going to let me do it? Star.md. Yep, and then get checkout, get status, and then let's go ahead and do get poll. That should work. So we're going to get checkout schmatter to front matter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of tagline A with tagline, I think it is 2 indents. Let's see. If I'm wrong about that, whoops, then I can fix it, of course. All right. So let's see here. Whoops. Okay, nerd fonts. Yeah, that looks about right. Oh, whoops, I did it wrong. So we're going to check this out, and then I'm going to replace it the correct way, which is tagline space pipe new line. Okay. Get that diff there. So that should all be good. So now if I look at iTerm2 themes. Let's see. Well, first of all, if I look for tagline, I should not see any taglines that have a word character. Good. So let's see if I can just get that to work. Oh, there we go. Cool. And nothing changed type. Everything's there. It's amazing. Sometimes you just put the quotes around it. If the program itself can interpret the stars through expansion, it will. So normally you don't put the quotes because you're letting the shell do the expansion, but sometimes the shell does the expansion in a way that you don't want. But the program, I find this with both Get and Prettier, oftentimes putting the single quotes around what I want to be expanded ends up working better than letting the shell do it because it's context aware to what you're trying to do. Okay, so git commit -m. This is going to be fix doc tagline front matter should be. So this actually, maybe we could call this doc style. I don't know. Tagline front matter should be paragraph. Okay. So that one I'm going to push up. All right. There we go. And then I'm going to check out main, and I'm going to rebase on matter to front matter. And I'm going to push this, and that should work. And then I'm going to go back to, what was the other one? Make bash strict, right? And then I'm going to rebase on main. Actually, let me see if I can rebase on next first. Ah, dang it. Can I not? I guess I can't. Well, that's kind of silly. I'm going to do git reset or git rebase -- abort. Because the thing is, if we go to next, git rebase main maybe. Okay, cool. So let me do git push -f. Yeah. So then if I check out make bash strict, is that what we're looking at? Yeah. And I do git rebase next now. This should go through cleanly. Don't know why it doesn't. So this is what I'm going to do instead. Rebase, abort, take a look here. And I'm actually just going to drop his commit entirely, git reset -- hard. And then I'm going to do git rebase next. And then that's going to have his commit, which is the right commit. And then I'm just going to do git push -f, and actually I got to do it like this, right? And that's going to be the right thing. So for this one here, yep, that all looks good. And then this one, I think I already approved it, right? So I can just pull that in. Let's see. Yeah, changes are approved. So I can go ahead and pull this one in. So git checkout main, git rebase, make bash strict. Push that up. Also, I am going to log into the prod system because there is a change that I made to the server itself. Let's see, add release version link. There we go. That one I think is important enough to bring over to the prod server. I'll check comments in just a second, by the way. Okay. Interesting. What do we got over here? We don't have Delta on. We don't have Delta on prod yet. Oopsies. npm run. Well, yeah, I should be able to do npm run build on prod. And so, because I don't have it automatically updating the website itself, other than things that are updated. There we go. So now that looks well. Oh, by the way, I wasn't actually checking out the thing on beta. Oops. But thankfully, there were no problems. Oh, that's weird. Well, that's quite weird. So something didn't go quite right there. Let me check that out. Git branch, where are we on? Yep, that's right. Okay, git branch main. Okay, didn't I just bring this in? Set e-u. Okay, so something went a little bit wrong, and that's something did not merge cleanly. Because this should not be down here. It looks as though this is somehow doubling over, and I'm not quite sure how. I mean, this isn't a breaker or anything, but it's just a little bit weird. So let's see if I can find iTerm themes. iTerm themes, iTerm themes, title iTerm themes. Is this doubled over somehow? Title iTerm themes. Really don't know what to make of that. It only appears to be here once here. Let me make sure install.sh. It's not in here. I don't know what to make of that. Because this all looks good. Maybe. I have a hunch. My hunch is that there's a weird situation where things don't match if the README is empty. That it needs to have at least one line in it. So let's see. What was my edit here? Let's look at this. Let's go back to this commit. Git reset. Boop. Git status. All right, let's pull all of these ones that are README. rg readme.md. Okay. And, whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's open up our edit.sh here and just plug those in. And then replace beginning of line with Vim. So beginning of line, we're going to replace that with Vim. And then there we are. And I'm going to edit each of these. And then I'm just going to say, put this in there. Because they don't have a cheat sheet. So we're just going to take the tagline and put it down here. I bet that's what's messing them up. But if we look at this on beta, once I have this through, we'll see a marked improvement. Because I think part of the matching that I did was that it's expecting to match a new line. There's no new line here. So this doesn't fit the criteria for the match. I wonder if there's a way that I could match end of file. Oops, there we go. little bit tedious. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Is there really that many? Didn't seem like there was that many a minute ago. Okay. Ah. So there's one where my tagline did not pan out the way that I expected it to. Okay. So now, where's this on next? Right? Okay. Oh, I'm going to stash this. Get stash. And then I'm going to get reset. I guess dash hard. I don't know. And then I'm going to get pull. I'm going to do get stash pop. And then I'm going to consider checking comments. No, there should be no merge conflicts. Why are there merge conflicts? Oh, no. Oh, goodness. All right, get reset. Dash hard head. What is it? 2. Get stash pop. Okay. Get reset hard dash 1. Get stash pop. There we go. Okay, so what I need to be able to figure out here is, okay, let's do get checkout dash B temp. Okay. Get commit dash M doc stuff. Doc whip. Okay, get checkout next. Get pull. Okay, get reset dash hard. Pull. Get checkout temp. And then I should just have the updates, right? What? What in the world could it possibly? Oh no. All right, let's do get. Okay, get pull. And then we're going to get check out the doc temp. We're going to check out star readme.md. You've got to be kidding me. Please don't tell me that all my work was in vain here. All right, that was okay. So we need to do reset head 1. And then we need to just add, okay. So we need to get add a okay, yeah, let's do that. Why? Okay, let's try this. We're going to get. What have I done here? Get checkout next. Get checkout star dot MD. No, why are you telling me there's no paths known to get? Yes, there are. It's all the MD files. Okay, let me try this again. I'm going to do checkout. We're just going to check out everything. And then we're going to ignore everything that's .sh. Okay. We're going to get checkout and then get status. All right, there we are. That's what I wanted. Okay, so this is going to be what I call this a while back. And I'll check comments in a second here. All right, what do we got for comments? Yeah, get reset hard. Definitely did some of those. Interesting. Apple seems to have been really vying for gaming. So I'll be interested. I might check out this article, why Apple doesn't care about macOS gaming, because they seem to care because they are pushing it really hard and introducing all sorts of gaming stuff. I agree the App Store is where the most of their games come from. Yeah, but I don't know that they don't care about. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But they seem to be really wanting to get an edge in the gaming market from, because that was part of the keynote, was talking about gaming. But again, I think what we may see is kind of the same thing that happened with the iPhone, right? What did they do? For 10 years, they released what everybody thought was just an underpowered pocket computer. And it turns out that they'd actually developed the iPhone to be more powerful than desktops. And it wasn't just that they'd done that in the last couple of years. They did that from about 5 years ago, but people weren't benchmarking phones against desktop computers. And even if you wanted to, you didn't have the software to be able to do it because they were kind of crippled by the whole App Store thing, right? But Apple actually, there were benchmarks for JavaScript web browsers that showed that the iPhone was more powerful than the MacBook Pro, which was just kind of, it just kind of seemed like a fluke thing because it's just one little benchmark that somebody was able to run. And so I think maybe the way that it will come about is not in the way of they're going to get all of the existing Steam games onto Mac. Maybe it's that they're going to create a channel by which it's more attractive for developers to create more complex and interesting games that bridge from the mobile ecosystem to the desktop ecosystem with things like Horizon Chase, where really it's a game that doesn't showcase any sort of performance, but that as people start developing those games and bringing them to Mac OS, which I wouldn't be surprised if Horizon Chase doesn't run on the M1, if nothing else, through the mobile store. I suppose I could check that out real quick. Let's see. But I don't know if they're going to win. I mean, that's one thing I agree. But it's something that they're vying for, and what Apple gets, Apple wants. Let's see. It's called Horizon Chase, right? Isn't that what I just said it's called? Horizon Chase. Yeah, Horizon Chase. Okay, so maybe that particular one's not here. I wonder if they've got Towerfall. But that could be a way that they don't capture the market in the way that you intend. They capture the market along a metric where they just flat out beast everybody. So I don't know. It'd be interesting, if I would look at arcade here. Again, these are not your A+ games, right? Or whatever you call them. But I don't know. I mean, is Minecraft an A+ game? It's one of the most popular games on the planet. I don't know if that runs on M1 either. Again, I'm not a gamer, so I should probably defer to people like you that actually really do have more of knowledge in the market than I do. I think I'm maybe expressing too many of my hopes and a little too strongly. Okay, so what's my next bit here? So Oh, okay. So I should be able to test this on beta and see that it's not utterly borked anymore. Yeah, there we go. That did it. Okay. So with that not utterly borked, let me just make sure rebase main. Yeah, okay. Push F. So I do need to get at least one more of these through to get that one through. And let's see what we got here. Notion MD Gen. That looks cool. Let's see if they, so I got some usage here. Requisites. Okay, this is not quite up to par. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do this. Git branch -d hotfix. Oh, good. Git branch -b hotfix. Git push -f. Okay, let me make sure this is right here. Yeah, git push -f. Boo! And I am just going to make sure that I get Ryan pulled in on this. Okay, I'm going to message him. I just need a quick review on this. This is Ryan Burnett. Also, that should have been a second commit there. I don't know why I had that name in there twice. So git rebase -I head 4. That sounds good. Oh, this was the wrong one. So doc style. Readme must not be blank is really what that should be called. I'll call it that. All right, let's make sure that deployed on webinstall.dev proper. We might need to give it a second. I think we'll see that it's okay. So that did not deploy on webinstall.dev proper. Not quite sure why, but we're going to find out. Okay. All right. Let's try this one more time. So hotfix is not deploying the way that it should, so I should not be using hotfix anymore. Because what it's doing is it's switching to the branch hotfix, but it's not delete. What it should be doing is it should be deleting the local branch hotfix before it does the deploy. But instead it's switching to it and then trying to do a pull, I think is what's happening. Let's see if we can fix that in there should be .git let's see. Where's our .git deploy for this? I wonder if it's actually on the production server. That would kind of make sense in a way. Let me check git deploy there locally, see if there's a local git deploy script. Okay. To check that out later. Actually, sorry, I'm on the other screen now, just looking at some scripts. Let's see, what do we have? GitHub, web install, deploy sh, hotfix. Okay. So I'm going to do this. If then b, let's see, git checkout main, git branch dash d hotfix, git checkout hotfix. Maybe I should run all of this too, actually. All right, sorry, give me just a second here on the other screen. Okay, I think I've got it fixed for the future. Okay, hotfix should deploy appropriately now. Because we'll check out main, then we'll delete the hotfix, then we'll fetch, and then we'll check out hotfix again. And that should give the current hotfix. So git checkout next, git branch, whoops, git log. Okay, git reset dash dash hardhead 1, git rebase, hotfix, git push f. Git checkout hotfix, git log. Wait, didn't I just say? Oh, whoops. I didn't do the reword. So doc style readme.md must have content after front matter. There we go. That's what I'm going to call that one. Cool. Good. So this gives us the ability to test out that hotfix bit real quick, which is kind of a bad idea, but cowboy dev, you know? No, I don't feel good about that. Let's see if everything looks right over on prod. Yeah, web install is something I really care about, and I really don't like having any sort of downtime on. Okay, good. Good. I fixed that because switching to the hotfix branch, if it needed to do a rebase, if hotfix was not perfectly in line with master for whatever reason, the git pull wouldn't work, and then it would be stuck in an inconsistent state. So for a few minutes there, production was in a bad state, and I do not feel good about that, but I'm glad that I fixed it. It won't happen again. Okay, so one more thing that I'm going to do before I go to bed. It is 4 a.m. Do you know where your children are? Let's see. Oh, good. Goody, goody, goody. Paul is letting me know where I can go to get bot followers. That's awesome. I always want bot followers. They're so much better than real followers. Let's see. Well, it depends on what kind of games we're talking about. I think AAA games, you need to go full GPU GTX. I don't know. I actually don't think that full GPUs are going to be better than what Apple's producing. I know that seems weird to say, oh, can Apple do better than Nvidia? But keep this in mind. Apple did better than both AMD and Intel. Intel basically laughed at Apple and said, "No, we don't want to partner with you on any sort of chip. That's ridiculous. It's not what we do." Right? Now, Apple would have eventually screwed Intel over if they had done that, but instead, Apple acquired Motorola. Was it Motorola? No, it wasn't Motorola. It was the other one. It starts with an M. Mitsubishi? No. They acquired the one that it did their original, their CPU back in the olden days. Maybe it was Motorola, but the CPU division, because I think that Motorola split, and then when they did phones, they were different from the company that did computers. And I think that the Motorola that did phones got acquired by Google, but I think the other branch of the company, I think it was Motorola, got acquired by Apple. And so then they built their own, right? And so I wouldn't put it past them to be able to outdo NVIDIA. I mean, if they can outdo NVIDIA for rendering movies, which I think are more intensive than games, then why wouldn't they be able to outdo NVIDIA for games? GPU is a very specialized piece of hardware. I don't disagree, but Apple has been developing really specialized hardware for a long time now. And also, I mean, Apple hasn't even released their desktop yet. Maybe that's going to be announced tomorrow, but they haven't released their desktop yet, right? So you got to compare the M1 Max against the best possible gaming laptop right now, right? And when they release their desktop, I don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to pull out all the stops on this release on March 8th. I think that it'll be the one after that because Apple's really good about making sure that you're always a generation behind and you want to spend more money, right? They released the MacBook Air first, and it was so good that you wanted to spend the money. But then when they released the MacBook Pro, you know what I did? I sold my MacBook Air and I got a MacBook Pro because I wanted the MacBook Pro. And I think that they're going to make me envious again. They're going to make me almost regret that I got the MacBook Pro because whatever they're releasing tomorrow is probably going to be better than the MacBook Pro. And I'm going to be like, I should have waited and got that new iMac or got the new Mac Mini Pro or whatever it is, right? So I think that there is yet more to see. Browser games probably doesn't matter. Yeah. And then with WASM, you get some pretty good performance, I hear. Well, Unreal did some sort of demo with WASM, right? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because it does make sense. Intel has the resources and whatnot, but Intel is no longer an innovation company. I mean, even Intel, where did they get their intellectual property from? It gets developed by AMD, and then Intel licenses it from AMD. No, I mean, if you were going to create a Marvel movie or Star Trek or Star Wars or a Disney animation or Pixar, Jurassic Park was rendered on ARM, uh, you know, uh,
It's a Unix system. I know this.
so, um, Yeah, and I mean, watch the keynote if you want to about the M1 Max, but and Apple could be lying or stretching the truth, but yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So Jurassic Park was not on. I don't think that was on Apple systems. I don't think Apple. I don't even know if Apple had something in the fight back then. No, ARM systems have existed for a very long time. Um, but the technology, it's a superior technology, and Apple has perfected it because they're willing to, unfortunately, make a throwaway computer. Everything is absolutely 100% integrated. Everything is shared buses. But because they're willing to do that, and because they have the power of scale to be able to do it, this is the funny thing. The other companies have had the power of scale to do it, but they haven't done it, and Apple has. Apple has been creating with the phones, they've been prototyping, okay, how can we experiment at scale creating the same CPU in slightly different variations with different amounts of RAM, etc. Right? So they've been doing that on the phones for a while. And you see the phones do this, they've had these weird patterns of Apple will release a next gen phone, but then they'll release a previous gen phone, and it's kind of like, huh? What are y'all doing? I said like, and not in the appropriate way. And so Apple does something where you might think, huh? What are you doing? And that's what they've been doing. They whereas the other phone manufacturers are trying to be so generic that they haven't been investing in actually making things significantly better. You know, the Android CPU cores, they've got more cores, but they're slower cores. And when it comes to things that need high single core performance, they just don't work as well. You know, I think Google may have been experimenting with this kind of strategy, but Google just, I don't think they're ever going to have a leg in the real computer fight because they just, everything, Chromebooks are so awful. Ugh. All right. So this is about as good as it can be. There was one more thing I think I wanted to do before I went to bed. Oh, this. I do want to try this out. Okay. So we're going to go check out next. Oh, what? Get rebase hotfix, get push -f. All right, and then I'm going to check out -b. Well, first let me get rid of some of these branches here. We just got too much stuff going on. All right. I know some of these still need to be here, but most of these do not. So let's just do branches.sh. I'm going to see what else we can do here. Meld. We're going to have the start of this, replace it with vim. No, replace it with a get branch -d. And then actually we're just going to do it with all of those. And then I'm not going to do that to hotfix. We're still using that. Main, we're still using. Let's see what else. These can go, that can go, that can go. This one we're still using. These can all go. This can go, this can go, this can go, this can go. That I'm still want to hang on to. And the rest of these we can just let go. So. All right, there, that's at least manageable. And then I'm pretty sure we got Koji already. Isn't Koji in here? Yeah, Koji's in here, so. I'm going to get rid of that one too. And we're going to get rid of add usage too. And I think we can get rid of meld. I think that was some sort of merge something. We get rid of temp. All right, there we go. Now we've got a little list that we can reason about a little bit better. And then I'm going to do a get checkout -b for bash here doc literal. Let's just call it here doc literal. And then what I'm going to do is for Webi Bootstrap, I'm just going to fix the here doc to be literal. Yeah. So we're going to do it first. So I'm basically just going to take out everywhere there's a backslash $sign. I'm going to replace that with just a $sign. So let's see what we can do here. So wherever there's a backslash and then $sign, we're going to place that with just $sign, right? So that one's good, 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 good. Well, this is looking all right. All right, and then anywhere there's a backslash, backslash, I think I just want to replace it with, let's see, backslash, 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 backslash. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, so that one, 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 that one. All right, those are all looking pretty good. And so now I don't think we have any extra backslashes left. Let's see. Let's just go through. Do we have anything that looks like it needs a backslash? I don't think so. And so then what we're going to do, oops, let me make sure I looked at that. What we're going to do is just change this up at the uppest level. We're going to just change this to be a literal here doc. And then should we run schwumpt? Oops. Okay, for what? Oh, I did bat. Duh. Let's take a look at the diff here. Ah, can I ignore white space? So I want to now put this into its own file just so that I can run the shell check and stuff on it. All right, but that looks right. So now I'm going to go to where I have an EOF. And we're just going to go down to where we have the next EOF. And I'm just going to copy it. And then I'm going to put it under Webi, webi.sh. And then let's check and see what we get out of this. Okay, declare separately to avoid masking return values. I could maybe get on board with that. See if you can do a variable place instead. I actually don't want to do that. These ones I don't want to do either. Yep, I don't care about that one. Okay, so I could check. Let's see, this one, in this particular case, I think I actually do want to do this. And there's a whole bunch of these I want to escape properly. Yeah, most of this stuff that shell check is giving me is stuff where I'm thinking, eh. Okay, fine. We can do it your way on that one. I agree. Okay, consider. Okay, so we're going to consider. It's actually right about this one. This is one that I just got so used to cat. But it's right. I should do it that way. As far as I need to go look at the shell check error messages. Shell check enumerated, shell check error codes. So what I think. Declare and assign. Do I have that one here? Yeah, I don't want to assign this person here. Okay. Let me open up this other one. Shell check, enumerate shell check codes. Where's the declare? Yeah, that one I want to bring over into here. Oh, whoops. This is not things that actually need to be fixed. Let's see, where's my shell check? I was looking for the one where I'm saying to update. There we go. Cheat sheet. Update shell check. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, like that. Let's do whoop. Actually, there we go. Do I have this one already? No, I don't. Okay. Shell check disable equals. So let's put this up at the top. All right. Shell check disable equals. There we go. I agree with it there. I should double quote this one. Oh, this is nasty though. And then I'm supposed to double quote this one. And then, yeah, there we go. But now it's happy. Yeah, okay. All right. See if we can use variable search replace instead. Let's see, search. Yeah, that one right there. I disagree. I don't like to use bash search and replace because there's only so many search and replace syntaxes my brain can handle, and the ones in bash just aren't that useful in the general case. So if I've got the choice between something that's really useful, something that isn't, then I'd rather use the thing that is really useful. Okay, so what it's suggesting is that I create a code block like this, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't like that. That's what it asked me to do, isn't it? Okay, let's go back here. Let's see what it's asking me to do. Use command file colon. Okay, let's do that. To clarify. Okay. I'm not 100% on board with this But if shell check says I should do it, then maybe I should do it. See if there's anything else I can get done more correctly here. And in this particular case, I'm going to do shell check disable equals and then whatever the error is here. If my command not indirectly, let's see, not indirectly. If my command there we go. Just for that one line. All right. Now shell check is happy. And let's go ahead. And for the time being, I'm just going to move this back into where I've got it already in the Bootstrap. Whoops. And I'll check comments in a bit. I know I haven't checked comments in a bit. EOF. EOF. Okay. And then boop. So this one I'll need to test a little bit. I'm not going to put this straight on anything. But okay, can I close out part of this issue if I do that? So I need to do that. Yeah, so kind of copying, I'm kind of half doing that there. So this would be a whip. Whip. Move Webi.sh to own file. And then maybe tracking in your doc literal. There we go. Okay, let me check what comments we got. Oh, whoops, I'm on the wrong thing there. Yeah, controlling hardware and software together has its pros for sure. There. Okay. Apple makes nice consumer electronics, no argue there. Bought my first MacBook Air and it's nice. No fans, battery lasts long, yep. But if there's one with Windows, I'd probably prefer a Windows one. Already too much invested in Windows and its ecosystem. For example, OneDrive, the Vault does not even work on Mac. It's somehow much dependent on BitLocker, yeah. Yeah. Yep. But ultra wide, everything looks great on Windows, but when I kick to M1 Mac Mini, fonts look crappy. Yeah. So the monitor support, Apple's really been off the game ever since Steve Jobs died. When Steve Jobs died, general monitor support went out the window. Now, if it scales properly at all, but fonts look crappy, that's kind of it's kind of interesting to me. I've got 4 monitors set up. There was a stream where I actually showed where those were. I did a little AJ's crib kind of thing. Hey, Josh, do you already have the video clip marked for when I was showing off my setup? Just let me know if you do, because if not, I do want to get a clip of that. Anyway. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting an ultra-wide monitor. I got a buddy who's got one, and the one he got is working fine for him. But the ultra-wide monitors right now in themselves are kind of a crapshoot. You know, it's knowing how to pay how much money to get the right thing in the end seems kind of rough in general. Monitors are way more complicated these days. Let's see. Okay, was there anybody else I needed to offer lunch? I think that's generally a good practice. I think that's something I want to do from now on. What pull request did I close out? Okay, this one, I want to give feedback. Hey, sorry I've been so slow about this. I like what you've done, but I'd like to see a better cheat sheet before I merge, before I rebase this in. Could you take a look at, I'll just give him something to take a look at as a good example. What's one that's pretty decent that might be in a similar vein? I mean, Hexel's pretty simple. Yeah. Maybe something else too. JQ. Yeah, there we go. Could you take, all right, so could you take a look at the, whoops, JQ and what else? Hexel's all right. And Hexel cheat sheets or any of the other published cheat sheets, really, and try to follow that format and give a little more detail for someone who isn't already familiar with Notion MD Gen. I'd love to get that in this week if I could. Okay, let's see. All right, so let's look at what I closed out. And who did I offer lunch? Did I offer Duncan lunch? Did I offer Young lunch? Did I offer Jojo Bite lunch? And these ones, I'm not going back that far because I hadn't decided on this yet then. Well, these are responding. So particularly the ones that I'm responding to, they're responding to either bugs or issues that I've opened. Those are the ones that I particularly want to offer lunch. Oh, whoops, that one got closed. How did that get closed? But everything got made in, right? Everything made it in. Oh, he closed out some of these on his own. I get it. They didn't pass muster, I suppose. Okay. So, yep, offered him lunch. All right. It's Webi-V. Dash-V is usually for verbose. All right, so I did offer him lunch. And anything else here? No, let's get out of this one, out of this one, out of this one. All right, and say, thanks for this. There we go. PS. All right, I think that's all good. Oh, and this one is, let's call this fix doc readme must have non-empty content. All right, so we're getting around to these. That's all right. Let's see if we can close out any issues here. I think we can. Super tab, I really want to get to. Oh, so many of these things I want to get to. All right, this was done. So I'm going to close that out. I'm about to say goodnight, y'all. Yeah. So the nano IPS screens, my buddy who works on WebInstall with me, he was telling me that those were just bugging him out and giving him headaches. He couldn't do it. Okay. Let's see, do we have anybody that's going to take that on? Yeah. All right, request. This one's closed out now. That's awesome. Okay. So this is kind of a user error, but we put something in there for this elsewhere. That one right there. So I should say close in favor of 396. Closed in favor of 396. There we go. Yeah, we got a lot of issues, but most of them aren't bugs. Did we get this one fixed? I think we might have gotten this one fixed. I think there were some other bugs we can knock out here, but yeah, there's so many documentation bugs. It'd be so easy. If anyone wants to knock a couple out, my offer for lunch stands. All right. Well, I'm out, y'all. Thanks for joining in for the stream. Really appreciate it. It's been a good time. Hopefully you had a good time too. Thumbs up if you got them. Thumbs down if you don't. Like, follow, sub, doobly do all the things, affiliate links, yada yada. New monitors being released from Apple. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to go back down on the low end and offer a monitor that you can get for $1,000 or less. I wish they would though. If they did, then I'd feel really dumb about buying these. And no, I don't. these were a good, reasonable choice. These are the Dell S2721QSs, and they were the best bang for buck on the market at the time. They're still the best bang for the buck on the market as far as I'm aware. They're just pure monitor, no USB-C crap, no weird. It's just straight monitor. So they're super cheap because you're just paying for monitor. It's the best monitor you can get for the buck because they're essentially similar screens to the pro graphic design monitors, but basically they're the ones that didn't get pre-calibrated or maybe failed the test or something like that. But they're, as far as the testing goes, according to ratings.com, rtings.com, these monitors are the hotness. And I've enjoyed them. They're not quite as nice as a true Retina display 5K 27-inch. There's a little bit different, but they're pretty good. I mean, I don't regret it, like I said. Curved gaming. Yeah. I just set the same picture. Yeah, I would like to try out the ultrawide at one time. Hey, Yo Rune, what's up? All right, cool. When I come home, I'll try to resolve the bugs too. Great. Okay, well, adios, everybody. Oh, wait, I can't say that yet. I gotta wait. That's my punchline, my tagline, or whatever it is. So, yeah, so all the things again, the like, the sub, the follow, all that. It's great joining in with you. Hope to see you again. Hope you join the Discord. Let me drop another link to the Discord real quick, just so you got the opportunity to do that if you want it. With all that said, have a wonderful day, night, evening, noon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Adios.